Summer's almost here, guys, and this jet boat from Rage RC might just be the perfect wave to beat the heat. This is the Torrent 450BL, a brushless, completely ready to run RC jet boat. And when they say ready to run, they're not kidding. You even get the AA batteries for the remote. So let's get this thing unboxed. But first, as always, guys, we get jack diddly squat for free. This stuff comes out of my own pocket. We are a dealer, so we do get a discount so we can hopefully make money when we sell some of these RC boats. That being said, I'm not going to sit here and beg you to ask to buy anything or do anything except like that button or subscribe that button or click the buttons if you like the video. Hopefully it'll help out the channel and maybe pay for part of the boat. That'd be awesome. Absolutely shredded the box trying to film that drop down scene for you guys. Oh, get out of me. Oh, very nice. What's in here? First up out of the box, you do have your charging port right here. It's going to be a 2 to 3 cell lithium battery charger. It's just like a standard trickle charger. It plugs into the wall. It's probably going to take a couple hours to charge your battery with this thing. And I'd recommend using another charger if you have one available. But if it's the only charger you have, it will work and get you going. Speaking of getting going, you do get the aforementioned AA batteries, and it looks like the brand's gonna be LD Max on those. And there's the prong for your prong hole, something like that. Up next to bat is your plastic boat stand. Looks like you are gonna get a manual hiding down in the bottom of the box. Overall, pretty basic, nothing crazy. Nice little black and white picture up there. In the back, you do have your spare parts list because this is hobby grade, and if you break something, you can order parts, which is awesome. That's the whole point of the hobby, is to break stuff and have fun. Do you guys actually read your manuals? Let me know down in the comments below. As for the remote, super basic, nothing real crazy to see. Plastic housing, push down here, and that's where your AA batteries are gonna go. Your on and off switch, just a real cheap plastic wheel, but there is actually a foam grip on there, which is nice. Cheap plastic trigger, nothing crazy here going on. You do got your steering dual rate right here, throttle dual rate, and your steering trim. LED button to let you know when it's on and off, reverse switch right here, and a bind button. And for the star of the show, here is your Rage RC Torrent 450BL RC jet boat. Now I did go with green for this video, but as you saw by the box, there is a reddish orange version available. And first thing I noticed about the color, it is slightly brighter than what it shows on the box and the pictures online, at least for the nose. The back green is fairly dark, but overall not too bad. It should be easy to spot on the water with all of that white going on. And my favorite part is there is this roll cage on top. So if you're fairly far out on the water, there's plenty of room here for like a treble hook or something to grab with a fishing rod if this thing flips, you know, way out there and the self-riding feature doesn't work, or, you know, battery dies or something, you need to get this thing back. There is the option to snag it with a hook, which is pretty nice. You also got fins on the back too that it could snag on. So, I mean, lots of options here to get this thing home safe. As far as other boat features go, you do have these two little driver figures with blue helmets in there. Along the bottom, you do have ribs going along both sides, and where it sucks up the water to using the jet propulsion system. A little bit flexible right there along the sides, but overall not too terrible. It should hold up decently well with some abuse. The hull does feel nice and sturdy. I don't think you're gonna have a problem going along the rocks or anything. And truthfully, there's not too much to snag except for your little propeller fin back here. I mean rudder, I'm sorry, I'm not normally a boat guy. Now one thing that does surprise me is the weight of this boat. It is a little bit heavier than I expected it to be. That being said, the battery is already inside of it from the factory underneath these latches here in the back that we're going to take off right now. Super easy on and off. A little 1, 2, 3, 4 points of contact underneath that little hatch cover. And there is a rubber O-ring to keep it sealed and hopefully prevent any water from seeping inside. And as you can tell, it is very, very cramped inside of this hole. You got your motor wires tied up. I mean, they're decently neat, but they're tied up there with a receiver wire. You got your water cooling pipe right here. And interestingly enough, your 2-in-1 ESC receiver combo with a 20 amp ESC does actually come with a Dean's plug, and they just throw on a XT60 connector on there. And here is your lead for your battery, which is actually 3S LiPo, so that's cool that you get 3S right out of the box. That being said, it is only a 2200 mile, so runtime is going to be pretty short on this guy, probably sub 10 minutes to be safe and get this thing back to shore. Or lose it and use a fishing rod to get it back. I really don't care what the hell you do. Now, pulling the wires to the side, you get a much better look in there at your 3500 kV brushless motor, capable of handling up to 3S LiPo, like it comes with. You do have a metal drive shaft and cups, which is nice to see. Nice metal motor mount inside of there. There's your 17-gram waterproof digital servo. Of course, your jet system in the back here. It is all plastic, along with the inner part and the mount. And here's a much better look at your 2.4 gigahertz receiver. That does double as a 20 amp ESC. And then finally, something that might just be noteworthy, especially if you're not a fan, is the Philips hardware. It's Philips hardware all the way throughout the in and outside of this thing. So if that's not your jam, this might not be the boat for you. That being said, everything on this boat feels pretty sturdy. The roll cage, the hull, doesn't feel like anything's really gonna break. You should have no problems running the creek and rocks. Aside from this plastic rudder back here, it is pretty flexible, but that does make me a little worrisome if you're trying to bash this thing up a creek. That might get caught or snagged or break. But other than that, I don't think you're really gonna have too many problems. We'll see once we get out on the water. I was getting ready to try to remove the battery, and I noticed it is loose in there. There's plenty of room for it to move back and forth. It might not be as hard to remove as I thought. Yeah, no, that battery actually just slid right out really easy. It was not hard to get out at all. That being said, there's not really much holding it in there in that battery brace. You may want to add some Velcro. All right, that's enough jibber jabber. We'll see you out on the water. All right, got the jet boat all powered on. Not a ton of steering in the stock position. Might be able to turn the door right up and get some more though. Get that in there. And one thing to note that I did find interesting when I put the battery inside, normally with all RC vehicles, you turn on the radio and then you turn on the boat, but it didn't bind, and I tried binding it and it didn't work. So then I just shut everything off. I turned on the boat, or plugged in the battery on the boat first, and then turned on the radio, and everything worked fine. So a little weird. All right, so hopefully with it being a jet boat, we can get through this stuff without getting tangled too much. Although I do already have something stuck on it, so I might have jinxed this. All right, gotta get that untangled. It is raining, so I'm trying not to get my phone too soaking wet here. Crank up the door right here, see if that makes a difference. Wow, it is pretty quick. I'm not really sure how fast I was expecting, but it does seem to do pretty good. I think we got something caught again. Grr. Did I get rid of it? I don't think so. Noisy reverse. Yeah, it looks like we do still got something caught. Had a nice clean launch that time. A lot easier to get going now that it's not. Oh shoot. So let's try. I'm gonna turn up the throttle dual rate. All right, there we go. Just a very noisy and slow reverse. You got to get off it. You try to go instant reverse, it doesn't work the greatest. Does get on plane very quick though. I love that slapping sound it makes when you let off and then hit the wake. That's pretty cool. Ah, we're dragging something. Look at the funny wake on that dragon. Ooh, looks like I did not have that on all the way, and we got quite a bit of water in there inside the hole. Oof, that's no bueno. No bueno. All right, and this boat does have a self-righting feature, so I'm gonna throw it in upside down and kind of show you guys how that works. Apparently, you hold the throttle down and it'll flip itself back over, so we'll see. All right, so here it is upside down. Supposedly, you're supposed to be able to hold the throttle down and it'll flip itself back over, or it says to let go and try. Oh, there you go. There it goes. All right, so you just got to play with the throttle in reverse and it'll get itself undone eventually. It'll be interesting to see how many ticks I have on me after walking through this little bit of grass right here. They are really, really, really bad this year. Worst I've ever seen in my entire life. Adjust the trim a little bit. Oh, that's much better. Turning a little bit better now. Looks like we hit low voltage already. We're gonna see if we can coast this back to the shore. Really, it's only been about 4 or 5 minutes, but we were hammering on the throttle pretty good, showing you the different features it has. Come on. Uh-oh, it's trying. Come on, get to shore, baby. Get to shore. Get to shore, baby. I can hear more water slushing around in there. Oh yeah. That is a lot of water coming out. I'm not sure if it just doesn't have a good seal around here, or if when we're going in reverse, it's coming up into the top up here and flooding it. Maybe I'm not shutting it right. As far as motor temps and everything go, super, super, super cool still, so that's not gonna be a problem at all. All right, I'm gonna go back, charge another battery, get back out here, and we're gonna try the creek. The water's up a little bit. I think we got like 4 or 5 inches, so we're gonna try to bash up the creek in a couple spots and see if we can make it work. It is still pretty low, so we'll just have to see how it does. Now, I could be completely wrong, but the water in the hole issue we were facing, I'm starting to think it may not have been from this top cover up here, but actually where this mounts onto the hole, I think there's supposed to be a screw right there on this outer part. Maybe I'm completely wrong because there's not one up here, but it just looks like it's sticking out a little bit, like it's not properly sealed. It looks like that might be where the water's coming in on the inside there. All right, so the water in the creek is still pretty shallow, but there's a couple small pools, so we're gonna see what kind of rock jumping we can do. It does have a pretty big rudder on the back of it, so might get us caught like it is right now, or we might be able to power through stuff. We'll see how she does. As always, if you find junk, be sure to take it out. That's the haul for today. All right, we're gonna try Big Yeet from over here on the shore, see how bad we regret it. Battery's getting low, so self-riding feature probably won't work once it gets in the water. Ugh. Oh, nice, it landed. Right on. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the Rage RC Torrent 450L RC jet boat. And while it did have a couple downfalls, not a bad little boat, guys. The motor and ESC in this thing have plenty of power for its size, and the motor runs cool as a cucumber. So you can get another battery, which I would recommend, or pick up a spare battery to get you a lot longer run time. So you don't want to be in a fast-flowing stream or creek, have your LiPo cut off, kind of kick in and watch this thing go floating down with the current. And apparently you can do Dean's or XT60, which if you take off that adapter and were just to run a Dean's pack, you probably would get a little bit better runtime right there, because these adapters do kill a little bit more juice. As far as like the whole shape goes, and then the jet power sucking stuff, like you can see a little rock stuck in there right now, but overall we really didn't have any problems. Whatever it put in, it blew out. The sand, the little rocks, everything, and it did really well. The rudder held up fine, even bashing on the rocks. The hull held up great. It's a little bit muddy, but other than that, we're good to go. The servo is a little bit weak on this guy, so that could be something you upgrade in the future, give you a little bit better steering and power on there, especially because it does have that self-riding feature, and it's not necessarily an easy boat to flip. So you might as well give it more steering. If it flips, oh well. But really the only like issue we had is that poor seal right there. We are missing a screw. I don't know if that came out when I started running. Maybe it wasn't tight from the factory, or it just wasn't there, but there's a hole all the way through where a screw should go to keep the water out of the hole. As far as the gasket and the top piece, this did hold up fine. There was no leakage issue there. It was on that piece there where there should have been a screw and or a better seal. As always, if you're interested in the Rage RC Torrent 450BL, links will be down in the description below, or you can head directly over to our website, www.nautiboy.com. And remember, keep it naughty. So let's get this thing up.